Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to First U Sunday Morning. I'm Reverend Liz Lerner McClay. I'm the Senior Minister of the First Unitarian Church in Providence, where we love beyond belief. Even when distanced in body, we are united in spirit. And we are gathered today for our annual Flower Communion Sunday, when we honor the beauty and the gifts that every one of us possesses and has to share with one another. Like the smallest violet or the largest sunflower, the most audacious iris or the most prim, crisp daisy. We are all different, possessing our own appeal, blooming in our own season, sowing our own seeds, seeking our own place in the bright light or the restful shade where we can flourish. Look around you at the blooming earth in these warm June days and see the mirror of our own belonging, our own particularities and place. This is the day we have been given. May we make the most of it, starting now together with our chalice lighting. This light burns also in our hearts, and it lights our path towards harmony, justice, and hope for all.
Hi, I'm Kathy Sagal, Director of Religious Education at First U. The Flower Communion service was created by Norbert Čapek, who founded the Unitarian Church in Czechoslovakia. He introduced this special service to that church close to 100 years ago on June 4th, 1923. He had been seeking a symbolic ritual that would bind people more closely together, something new that would not alienate people who had come from other religious traditions. So he turned to the native beauty of their countryside for elements of a communion which would be genuine to them. This simple service was the result. It was such a success that it was held yearly just before the summer recess of the church.
When the Nazis took control of Prague in 1940, they found Dr. Čapek's gospel of the inherent worth and dignity of every human person to be, as Nazi court records show, too dangerous to the Reich for him to be allowed to live. Dr. Čapek was sent to Dachau, and a year later, about the time his simple ceremony was beginning to spread among American Unitarian Universalists, he was killed as part of a Nazi medical experiment. This gentle man suffered a cruel death, but his message of human hope and decency lives on through his flower communion.
There are layers of meaning in this service. It reminds us that as every flower is unique, so too each of us is unique with our own beauty and contribution to make. Together, the different flowers form a rich and lovely bank of flowers. This great communal bouquet that fills our church would not be the same without the unique addition of each individual flower. It is the same for our congregation. It would not be the same without each and every one of us and all those yet to come.
The service also reminds us of our power to grow and change. Right now, we may plant seeds or seedlings in a community garden or in front of our apartment building or in our yard or a friend's yard. We can put our hands in the warm, dark earth and help bring new life into the world. I don't know about you, but I've been putting my hands in the earth as often as I can, planting, pressing the dirt down around tender roots, watering and watering and watering, watching and watching over, and the tender things in my yard are growing, and soon they will be strong and established. They show us the difference we can make in the world.
This flower communion service is an affirmation of our community and the sacredness and beauty of humanity. Ordinarily, when we bring a flower to the church this morning, each of us gives a flower to someone else, showing our commitment to sharing ourselves and honoring each other, disregarding all that might divide us. Today, we are still sharing our flowers, but we're doing this by sharing images of ourselves with the flowers we would still offer each other, always a symbol of our care and dedication to this beloved community and the faith that unites us. So we'll partake differently of our flowers this year, but we still rejoice in the beauty we receive from one another this morning. Friends, we're now going to hear our joys and sorrows, which we share each Sunday in beloved community. The first is for a candle of joy for a life well lived. A family friend from childhood, Dr. Paul Spray, died in May at age 99. He was my father's friend for nearly 85 years, one of the kindest, most humble persons I've ever known. Dr. Spray lived his Quaker values and was recognized for decades of compassionate medical care in Appalachia and developing nations around the world. A candle of grief for our union, where even face masks seem to define growing divisions among the hearts and minds of our fellow Americans. Candle of peace for the hearts of all our white accomplices. May they appreciate the power of their voices and their privilege to support the movement for Black lives. A candle of healing for all who suffer from loneliness and separation in this COVID time. Remember, we are all here together. A candle of good wishes to my nephew Sam, who drove by himself from his Philadelphia home to Texas A&M, where he begins a PhD, MD program, a scary thing on so many levels in this time of COVID and anti-racist uprising. This is his first taste of America away from the liberal East Coast. But Sam is a young UU who wears his chalice pendant proudly every day. Good luck, Sam. Candle of gratitude from Andy and Aida Wilby to all our friends at First U that helped make the passing of Aida's mom, Rosa, more bearable. You mean more than you know. A candle of joy for this gorgeous early summer weather. What is so rare as a day in June? Why, 2 days, or even 3. Thanks to the weather gods and praises also to the gods of residential construction. Our project is finally underway. May the lights of love and hope and healing shine on you now and in your time of need. Amen. And friends, now we will share our prayer and meditation. A crocus pushes up from the late winter snow. A pansy pushes up from a crack in the wall. A white saxaul pushes up from sand in a desert. A water lily pushes up from the sediment of a lake bottom. A bellflower pushes up from a sheer rock face. An African lily pushes up from cracked, dry earth. A carnation pushes up from an abandoned flower pot. A petunia pushes up from a groove in a sidewalk. A foxglove pushes up from a well-trodden path. A flower pushes up. A flower pushes up. A flower. We don't have to cultivate hope. We don't even have to justify hope. We just have to pay attention. The world cultivates hope. The world justifies hope. Reason for hope is all around us in uncountable numbers and innumerable forms. You know what I'm saying? Just look around. Just look at the flowers.
Whenever Dr. Čapek, the creator of the flower communion tradition, conducted his flower communion in Prague, he would say this as he consecrated the flowers. Infinite Spirit of life, we ask your blessing on these, your messengers of fellowship and love. May they help us remember to care for one another and for the earth. May they also remind us to cherish love as one of your most precious gifts. May we always remember to do whatever we can do, great or small. The world needs every single one of us.
In the name of the creative spirit, which implants in our hearts that unrest which will not be quenched until all people live lovingly with each other, we bless these flowers.
In the name of the highest, in which we move and take our being, and in the name of the deepest, which makes every one of us who we are, we bless these flowers.
In the name of the prophets and the peacemakers who sacrificed their lives to hasten the coming of the age of mutual respect, we bless these flowers.
Let us renew our resolution sincerely to be one family, regardless of the barriers which estrange.
May these flowers be for us the sign of the glory and variety to which we aspire, knowing the whole while that we are one family, the family of spirit and nature.
In this holy resolve, may we be strengthened by the spirit of love, that we ourselves may bloom in the splendor of a more joyful life and endeavor to be more perfect in our days. Amen.
And now we share our flowers. As our own member here, the Reverend Ralph Miro has written, sometimes we have difficulty expressing the community we feel. So we come to this moment and we say, take this present I have chosen for you, accept my gift, and accept me as a friend. Out of our sharing, we are all made richer. In the giving of flowers to each other, we shall find greater beauty and more abundant peace. Christy, you're offering a wonderful song, De Coloris, as we share our flowers this morning. Please get us started.
Springtime with all of its flowers. colors abound for the whole world around and for everyone under the sun. The colors abound for the whole world around and for everyone under the sun.
In the name of Providence, which implants in the seed the future of the tree, and in the hearts of all people the longing for living in love. In the name of the source of all, in which we move and which makes us all who and what we are. In the name of hope, which moves in the heart of every person, which is the deepest foundation for living and loving and working towards what our world and our hearts yearn for. In the name of sages and great religious leaders who sacrifice their lives to hasten the coming of peace and justice, let us renew our resolution sincerely to be real sisters and brothers, friends and kind neighbors, regardless of any bar which estranges one from another. In this holy resolution, may we be strengthened, knowing we are one family, that one spirit, the spirit of love, unites us. And may we find for ourselves and share with each other a more perfect and more joyful life. Amen.
And now, please join me in our chapel closing words. Go well into life now, and when you need us, always know that here you will find the hands of friends. We carry the flame of peace and love and justice and hope until we meet again.
May